Hello everyone, so I did a video showing one of my recent copper colors that I had done. So first we are going to just add a bit of a root color, and I won't give out my formulas just because every guest is different and I want you to come up with that on your own. But so right now I am doing a quadrant section of a root touch just to separate that quadrant with the front pieces. And now I am just tapping the front pieces. This is kind of like the halo look, and yes, I'm a little bit messier on my mannequin just because I was in a little bit of a rush. But we have then the pull through for these front face framing pieces is a brighter, more red color, and I go ahead and I do that the sides, the front, kind of like a money piece, and then it actually goes all the way around the perimeter, all the way around the outside hair section, so it gives that halo look. So now we are sectioning out the rest of that perimeter, and we are just going to clip the top part away. And of course, you can be much neater about this. Like I said, I was in a bit of a rush, but we want to make sure that all the way around the head has this brighter red copper color. We want it to have a beautiful pop when the hair is pulled up, when the hair is curled. So we want to definitely make sure you super saturate and just making sure it's completely around the perimeter. I would say depending on how noticeable you want your color to be, I did about a ½ inch to an inch depending on your guest thickness. You can adjust about how wide of a section or a subsection you want to have for your brighter red. I did use the same root color all around the head. So that's what you see when I first grab the section, and then I take a color and tap it right at the root. I do a little bit of a drag, and then what I do is I'll pull that down about an inch, inch and a half or so, and then when I grab that brighter red copper, I go over the bottom inch of that just so it has a nice beautiful blend, and I use my fingers, or I sometimes will use a color blending brush, and I will just blend those two colors right in so that there isn't really a harsh line or transition going from the root color to this bright color, because I will say the root color was a dark, very deep violet, and this perimeter color is a very bright red copper, so I did not want there to be any harsh demarcation between the two. So now I split the hair down the middle, and I'm going in with the root color. This one is a deeper violet color, and I am going to apply that first just to separate the sections. As you can see here, I go from the top part of the perimeter that I have already colored all the way down to the bottom where that starts, and then I just go through the sections and I add about 2 inches of the root color and I blend it down. You can decide for yourself if you would rather 2 inches, if you'd rather not quite as deep of a root color, you can do maybe just an inch or so. You can also do even more of a root color. Another option that you can do is when you are about at the occipital bones where the round of the head is, if you go below that and kind of drag the root color down a little bit further, kind of like what I'm doing in this video. But for the most part, it's all about the same 2 inches. But what you can do is drag out the root color a little bit further down the hair. And then as you work your way up, not dragging the color quite as far down. If you want to give a little bit of a deeper look and more dimension, you could do that. So right here, I'm just going to copy what I did on the other side, making sure you have heavy saturation. Make sure there's a ton of color on your brush so that you don't miss anything. Another thing to think about is hair can be very porous, so if it already absorbs the color but doesn't fully get what it needs, your color can become hollow, and that is super important to know with coppers and reds, is to keep that section, every hair, wet with color, just so that it ensures that every hair does get the amount of color that it needs for it to come out even and opaque, full of color, and it doesn't have a hollow or translucent look to it. Right now I am using a color blending brush, and I want to blend down that color so that there isn't a sharp demarcation line. I am mixing in the color that I have chosen to do for the mid shaft and ends. This color does not have any violet to it and no red to it at all. They are just copper colors and there's about 5 or 6 actually different colors and tones mixed in here to get this perfect deep copper color that I was going for. So just as a reminder, around the perimeter we had red with a touch of copper. Roots were, or base was a deep violet, and these mid shafts and ends are just different mix of coppers and golds. Now that we have all finished, I like to separate the ends and definitely just move some color in there. The ends are more porous, so I like to separate the hair and add more color into the ends and mesh it all in there. Like I said, you really want to keep your ends wet, your sections wet, so that you get the full saturation the hair needs. And this is the end result. Right now I am curling. I am using a 1-inch curling iron. I am unwinding as I am adding the ends to the curling iron. You can see there is a deeper violet color on the root or base area. There's a beautiful copper color going through the mids and the ends. And soon you will see what it looks like when I get towards the bottom and I grab the brighter red, and how absolutely stunning it looks when you curl that brighter red with the richness of the copper. At this point, I am changing direction of the curl. I'm wanting to make sure when you go straight down the back of the head that each side of the head is going the opposite way of that side of the face. So now that we are on the left side, we want to curl the hair towards the right so it is away from the left side of the face. Right here you can definitely see that pop of the copper red intertwined with the richness of the copper above. I want to thank you so much for watching, and let me know down below if you would like to see more videos like this, or if you have any ideas on what you would like to see on my channel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.